So I'm starting to see that on this spiritual awakening, there are levels that you come to or places that you come to that there's no relief, that there's nothing and nobody outside of yourself that can come in and give you some relief from the pain. It's simply something that you are, I kind of feel like, thrown into. I know that it's a choice and that we go through it by choice, but it doesn't feel like a conscious choice, because at times that's also a paradox, because at times I feel like if I had to choose this pain to go through, it's almost like when you have a baby. At some point during your delivery, the pain is so intense that if you were given a choice, you might not choose to go through it. It's just that painful. And I'm remembering a story that I heard about. I think she was an Indian woman or someone in China in a village, that she was pregnant and she went into the hospital. And she was so afraid of giving birth that she left and went home, and she stayed pregnant until she just stayed pregnant forever until at a certain age she had an operation. They took out a baby that was calcimized, and so I don't know why that popped into my head, but if it popped into my head, I certainly don't want my spiritual journey to be calcimized, turn into calcium and just stay there. But it feels like you can't really stay in place. It's a choice, but not really a choice. Once you start going through it, there is no turning back. It's straightforward and all for your higher good. And understanding that it's like you have to go through it in order to experience it. You can't sit beside it and go through it at the same time, but you know that it's for your higher good, and that in the end, once you do go through it, then you'll be that much stronger for it, and you will have all that in your toolkit to play with. It's just like the hard things that I've gone through until now. They were so intense when I went through them, but I don't have to go through them again. Once you really go through the pain and you learn the lessons, but these lessons feel like they're not consequential. Well, they are consequential in a way, but they are less consequential. It's more like an awakening, and you're waking up from a slumber that you were in, or that I was in for years and years and years and years, and coming into the new me, into a me that is more equipped and understanding that this life that I'm living now is the illusion, and this is the illusion, and that they're asking about my dogs over there, so I'm checking it out. But that this actual physical world is the illusion, and the spirit world and the soul's world is the real world. And it's like waking up into that knowledge that this is, we all know that this is, this experience will end. It's just an experience. It's just that we will at the end give back our, we will go back into the all, physically and spiritually. And so what we're doing here is simply an expansion. We're expanding. We're coming here to expand. So going through this pain is definitely expanding me. I feel the expansion. I can feel it. Also, going through the pain, but I can also feel the energy expansion. I can feel it at times. It's almost like a physical sensation of feeling the soul expanding, or the soul's sending out vibration into the world, maybe magnetizing, maybe the opposite of magnetizing. I'm at the hot springs. I'm sitting in this. It is hot. It's hot outside. There's a nice breeze. I just finished work at the Roboy, and so I came here. It's about a 10-15 minute drive from the Roboy to get here. So today's Thursday, so we're coming into the weekend, which I always like the weekend. The atmosphere in the weekend, for some reason, it's way more laid back, but I seem to get way more done for some reason. Probably because it's way more laid back, and I'm less stressing about what I need to do, how I need to do it, everything that I need to do. So I reached out to my twin this morning and left him a message, about all of this spiritual awakening and ego death, which is what he sent me yesterday, and it was exactly what I feel like I'm going through now, is like the ego death. There's people over there, see? It's a window into the other pool, and the other pool is hotter. Like, there's the dogs over there waiting for me, see? Oh, now can you see? Yeah, you can see. There's Lola and Lexi. So this ego death. It's like completely losing yourself in order to find yourself, but you find yourself different. It's like losing the idea of self, the entire concept that I am separate, and that it's like finding that understanding from above that I'm a part of it all. And I've said that over and over and over, but it keeps getting more shades and depths, and it's kind of like finding yourself and losing yourself all at the same time. And it's something that you can't grasp. It's in between. It's in between the two paradoxes. So it's like in between the polar opposites. There's a space in between the polar opposites that is, it's like an empty space, but it's full. It's like loose or complete absence, but everything all at once. It's complete absence of everything, but everything all at once, if that makes sense in a way. I'm sure it does, I'm sure. And this spiritual awakening is something that is done alone. You keep on trying to grasp at something that will give you relief, that will give you answers, but there are no answers. It's like drifting into this absolute nothingness. but everything at the same time. It's like a nothingness from everything that you've ever known. It's like you are nothing. You become nothing. You're a nothingness, but you're vast and everything at the same time. Like you become, you're coming home into becoming the all, but still in this body, which is pure pain, but pure bliss at the same time, because it's all that, having this human experience and being in this human body is what allows you even to have a collective, a consciousness. It's what allows you to conceive ideas. Having the ego is what, your separateness from the all is what allows you even to collect thoughts and collect ideas. And this twin flame journey, and I'm just going to call it that. My friend told me this morning in a text that, just by calling him my friend, or it can make people, not understand what I'm talking about, because it's known as a twin flame. It kind of feels like weird for me to take like this word that has all these things attached to it and call it that, but that is also what, if I want my message to get out, that's what it's called, and that's what people will search for. So if I say twin flame and twin flame journey in my videos, then I will become relevant to people that are searching for that. And that is, I mean, if there is a point, well, there's a few points to these videos that I'm doing. One of the points is that I'm just sharing, and this is like my therapy. This is me talking it out, and as I talk it out, I bring these concepts that are this big and narrow them down into words and concepts so that I can grasp them in myself and understand them. And while doing that and just putting it out to the world is kind of like, yeah, it's, I say like a sacrifice. It's like allowing my story to be told, and to whoever needs it or wants it. And if somebody is watching it, then there are messages in this for them. And if I can help other people grasp what they're going through themselves, then even one person in the world finds peace in it and finds some kind of answers for something that they're going through, or hope, or understanding, then that's a whole world in itself, because we are each a world in ourselves, and we're also each nothing connected to, well, that's, you see, we're everything and nothing at the same time. We're the most important and the least important. Everything is paradox. Everything. And when you understand that, those are the simplest of laws of the universe and laws of God. So when you can understand these patterns, it helps you unravel other things around you. That when you understand that it's an absolute, the paradox is an absolute. That's what the twin flames are. They're like a paradox of each other. That's why it's so cleansing, and so you have to lose all of the crap that you built up on top of your purity in order to connect with your twin flame, and whatever connection it is. And that's the self-work. That's the work that we do with God, finding God within ourselves and finding our relationship with a God. And that is, in the end, the most important. And that, in the end, is what gives us the inner peace, because the inner peace can only be found within. There is nobody outside of us that can hold our inner peace for us. And to want to put that onto somebody is giving away our own personal power and our own personal life and our own personal life force and our own personal life experience uh, and responsibility within our own lives, trying to have somebody else give us happiness or make us secure or support us instead of us supporting ourselves. You know, there's such a thing as being complete within yourself and not needing anybody else for that. And then you can have a true life partner that you are happy with and that makes you happy because it's not dependent on them. Then there's like a sharing there. So I'm going to go in the water and then I'm going to come back and I'll say if there's something else that I want to say, then I'll say it. And if not, I'll just stop it. But I'll let you have the experience of the hot water here. So just to say something about abundance, I'll show you two things that I received today. So this shirt, I found it after I got here. I washed it in the hot water and then I put it on. So I got a nice shirt and this hat that somebody forgot at the Rubway, and I found it there and I asked if anybody wanted it and if it was up for takes, and it is. So I don't want it to smell like. And let me show you just what I was looking at overhead. There's trees all around. Okay, so thanks for watching. I'm going to probably be getting out of here in a few minutes. I'm just going to enjoy some quiet for a few minutes and then head out. So, ego death, the death of the ego. And the pain of it is like this empty. It's like nothing you can grasp really, because it's just going through pure pain. It's going through pure pain that really on the other side there's nothing to grasp onto, because it's going through your own self and letting go of your own self. What outside of you can help you with that? There's nothing. And there's nobody that can truly, truly understand what the death of the ego is. Because the death of the ego is your own combined life experience. It's everything that you have experienced until now that makes up your personality and the whole of who you are. And you have to let go of all of that. Let go of your belief systems. Let go of what has been able to give you calm until now, what you've been able to grasp onto, you know, even when you grasp onto emotions like even fear. It's letting go of fear. It's letting go of knowing. It's letting go of, you know, you can't lash out at anybody else and get relief. You know, a lot of times in my past lives, real life, past lives, I mean, in this lifetime, my past ways of being, in this life experience, you know, sometimes you're going through things, and I see it all the time. You're going through things and you lash out at others to make yourself feel good. And in the end, you find that it's empty. There is no relief in that. It's more painful because it causes more pain. And you're actually vibrating out your pain and spreading it, the poison of that into others. And it doesn't give you relief in the end. You go home and you're still with yourself. You go home inwardly and you're still in yourself. And your own individual pain is still there. And I've seen people that just continuously lash out over and over and over. They make it part of their being to get their own pain out. And it becomes like an addiction. you're addicted, getting rid of your own pain by lashing and putting it onto others, or you're addicted to trying to please others so that they will see your worth. There's so many different addictions that, there's the obvious ones like alcoholism or cigarettes or things that you're actually, but then there's the more obscure ones that many times the beholder of those addictions don't even know that they are in the loop of addiction. They don't know, they don't recognize it in themselves. They're so far on automatic because these ways of coping, these ways of dealing with life have been in them since they were children, and that's what they learned. The way that they learned how to express themselves and relieve themselves of specific pains. There's so many different, ways of thinking that are addiction, and they're already hardwired into our brains that we hardly even notice that they're happening when they're happening, and they become like our automatics. What we say automatically, and don't even notice that we're doing them and don't know the reasons why we're doing them. We have all these triggers within us that we allow to take over our beings, and then they control us, just like alcoholism and smoking cigarettes, all of those things. In the end, you can see that the habit controls you. The habit makes you get up and go out and get your next fix. Where when you don't have that addiction, there isn't a pull there for you. And you can see it also in the ways of our ways of thinking, our ways of habits, our ways of being the victim, our ways of acting like we don't have power in our life, or making excuses for ourselves, or blaming others for what's going on in our life. And that is not that's not supportive of our being. And the ego death is kind of emptying out all of that all at once. So thank you for watching.